Hello everyone, this is the Board Game Lawyer. Today I'm going to do another Marvel Champions playthrough video. And of course, Marvel Champions is a product of Fantasy Flight Games. So I'm really looking forward to today's game because I'm going to be playing with one of my favorite decks that I've made this year. And as you'll notice on the playmat here, it gives us a hint as to which hero I'm going to be using. But I'm also going to be playing against one of my favorite encounter sets. So today we're going to be taking on the Taskmaster. So we're going to be playing today against Taskmaster in normal standard mode. I have stage 1 and stage 2 of the Taskmaster here. Let's go ahead and take care of his setup before we bring Spider-Woman out onto the table. So Taskmaster has a scheme of 1 to begin with and an attack of 2. He says Hydra Mercenary, and he has a forced response, which reads, after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. So that's his text on his forced response. So we'll put the Taskmaster here onto the table. We'll also notice that he comes into play with 13 hit points. So we'll bring out his dial here of 13 hit points. And now we need to take a look at his main scheme. So here, where it reads the contents, it says that we use Taskmaster 1 and 2, which we have, as well as the Hydra Patrol, and a standard encounter set, and one modular encounter set, which is Weapon Master. Well, we're going to swap out Weapon Master today, because thanks to the new Hood Scenario Pack, we now have a modular set that I'm really looking forward to playing with, and it's called Mr. Hyde. I haven't played with that one yet, and so it'll be a learning curve as I go through my game today. And so that's the contents of the Hunting Down Heroes main scheme. The setup here says that to set each captive ally aside out of play. And so the captive allies that we have today are the White Tiger, Moon Knight, Elektra, and Shang-Chi. So those are our allies, captive allies that we'll set aside. And then if we continue on our setup here, it says to search the encounter deck for the Hydra Patrol and to put it into play. And so here's our Hydra Patrol side scheme. It reads, when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle the encounter deck. And it comes into play with 2 threat on it. And we'll notice that while this side scheme is on the table, we cannot remove any threat from our main scheme. So that's important. We'll put 2 threat on Hydra Patrol. All right, so the only thing that we have left to do then is to shuffle the encounter deck. So we'll give the encounter deck a quick shuffle. And that will take care of side 1A of Hunting Down Heroes. The B side reads that it has a forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. And when this stage is completed, the players lose the game. So when it reaches a 12 threat, then I will lose the game. So he comes into play with 1 threat on it. I think that's everything that we need in order to get the Taskmaster set up. Now let's take a look at our hero today, which is Spider-Woman. She has a very interesting text here. We'll begin with her threat of 1, attack of 1, defense of 1. She's an Avenger and a spy, and she has a superhuman ability, which says, interrupt when you play an aspect card. Spider-Woman gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. Limit once per round for each aspect. So in order to denote which aspect I played, I've robbed another game that I have of some cubes here. So we'll notice the 4 different color aspect cubes. I usually put those on her card to denote that I've played those aspects that round. Helps me to keep track of things. Her alter ego, which is her setup side, says that she has a recovery of 3 and that she's a double agent, so we choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. You must include an equal number of cards from those aspects in your deck. So the 2 aspects that I chose today are leadership, and I feature cards which allow extra card draws, And I also selected Justice, which also has some cards in there that encourage card drawing, but we also need to take care of threat removal and some side scheme tutoring. So those are the cards that I mainly feature in her deck today. And we'll also notice that Jessica Drew comes into play with 11 hit points. So we'll put that out. And that she has an action. Look at the top card of any deck, and you can do this for a limit of once per round. So I think all of our setup is complete, other than drawing up our hand size of 6 to begin the game. So we'll look at what we get here for Jessica Drew. She has 4 Justice. We also draw a Make the Call, One Way or Another, a Clear the Area, and we have Contaminant Immunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more card is the White Tiger. After you play White Tiger from your hand, draw X cards to the maximum of 3, where X equals the villain's stage number. If the villain has no stage number, draw 1 card. So when you play White Tiger, it allows you to draw a card. Contaminant Immunity, heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman, give her a tough status card. Okay, and Clear the Area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. One Way or Another, one of my favorite cards in the game right now, says search the encounter deck for a side scheme, or reveal that side scheme and draw 3 cards. And Make the Call, and 4 Justice. So this one allows me to remove 4 threat if I paid for this card using a mental resource. Let's see if I got any mental resources. Yes, I do. Make the Call right there has a mental resource. So we'll use Jessica Drew's action here to look at the top card of any deck. And by the way, we'll just go ahead and keep this hand to begin the game. I'm not going to mulligan off any cards. So we'll keep our hand here for now. We'll look at the top card of the encounter deck, and it has 2. So whenever I flip to my hero side, the Taskmaster will cause her to take 2 damage if I were to flip right now. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll flip to my hero side. After a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons. So we're going to take 2 damage to begin the game. So already we're down to 9. But while we are in our Spider-Woman form here, we could start playing aspect cards, and that will beef up her thwart, attack, and defense. So I think the first thing that we'll do on my turn is go ahead and play that One Way or Another card, which it's a max 1 per round. Search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, and draw 3 cards. So I do have in mind which side scheme I would like to find. One of the reasons why I like Taskmaster so much is because we can go find that Captured by Hydra card. It says, when revealed, place 1 random set-aside captive ally face down beneath the scheme. When the scheme is defeated, the player who defeated it takes that ally into their hand and removes this scheme from the game. So we'll bring 1 Captured Hydra card out onto the table, shuffle our deck. All right, and this says place 1 random set-aside captive ally, so we'll go ahead and shuffle our captive allies, and we'll bring it out face down beneath this scheme. So we'll put our random ally face down beneath the scheme. Keep in mind that we did play One Way or Another, which allowed us to go find that side scheme, and it is a justice aspect, so we'll put that on to Spider-Woman. Discard One Way or Another. 0 cost to play that one. It allows me to draw 3 more cards. So we'll draw Energy card, and we'll draw Finesse. And we'll also draw up another One Way or Another. Now it's max 1 per round. I would love to be able to put another one of those out there right now, but can only do it once per round. So kind of a bummer that we drew it at this point in the game. But that will allow us to, first I got to put 5 threat on that Captured by Hydra. if I put that 5 threat out, I can, let's see what we can do here. I do like that finesse card because it says exhaust finesse and generate a mental resource for a wild resource for an aspect card. So I do have energy, so I could play that finesse card onto the table using the energy from this card. All right, so we have finesse on the table, and now we can play heal 3 damage and give her a tough status card. That sounds like a good idea, right? And I have 4 justice. I think what we'll do first is we will pay to play 4 justice. We'll exhaust finesse. And we will spin make the call to play 4 justice, which 4 justice, I use that mental resource so I can remove 4 threat from a scheme. So we're going to remove 4 threat from Hyde, captured by Hydra. That takes it down to 1. And we can also play clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw 1 card. I think we'll go ahead and do that. We'll play clear the area, and we'll use contaminant immunity. Now we'll use White Tiger. White Tiger, we're going to spin that to play clear the area to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So we'll go ahead and remove that 1 threat from captured by Hydra. So this reads, when this scheme is defeated, the player who defeated it takes the ally into their hand and removes this scheme from the game. So captured by Hydra is removed from the game, and we're going to bring into our hand Electra. It says after you play Electra from your hand, spend a mental resource and deal 3 damage to an enemy. All right. Don't have any mental resources. But let's see. We do get to draw a card, though, for clear the area. We played clear the area to remove that side scheme, and we draw strength in numbers. Exhaust any number of allies you control and draw 1 card for each ally exhausted this way. So we could bring Electra onto the table, and I think we will. And at this point, we will... I have no physical resources, so I cannot deal 3 damage to the enemy. But I could either play Contaminant Immunity. I think I will. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Contaminant Immunity to heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman and give her a tough status card. I'll use these 2 resources right here to do that. So we'll bring her back up to full strength. She's back up to 11. That was a protection aspect. So we'll put a green cube onto Spider-Woman. Now she's +2 on each of her abilities. We will exhaust Spider-Woman to be rid of the Hydra Patrol. It removes that side scheme from the table. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. Engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck. So who's our Hydra minion today that we're going to look for? We have the Hunter. Hydra Hunter attacks, gains piercing and ranged, and he has a health of 3. So I think we'll go ahead and put the Hydra Hunter on the table. And we do have Electra yet that we haven't used. So using her 3 attack, she's going to attack the Hydra Hunter, doing 1 consequential damage to Electra to defeat the Hydra Hunter. Okay, so there's our first turn of the game. So we'll ready Spider Woman, ready Finesse, and ready Electra. And we'll draw our hand size of 5. So we have Pheromones. Oh, and I did get a tough status card. Don't want to forget that for using that contaminant immunity card. So she gets a tough status card. We have Pheromones. We have Clear the Area. We draw contaminant immunity, one way or another, and Ironheart. So those are our 5 cards that we take into our next turn. We'll begin with hunting down the heroes. We'll add 1 threat to the main scheme. And then it reads, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. I think we'll choose to place 1 threat here. Taskmaster is going to attack Spider Woman. So we'll draw our card here. It's 1 plus 2 is 3. So he attacks for 3. That will remove Spider Woman's tough card. And our encounter card reads, Photographic Reflexes. Attached to Taskmaster, forced to interrupt. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. Then discard Photographic Reflexes, max 1 per attack. All right, so that's an attachment that's going to go on to the Taskmaster. So we'll end Taskmaster's turn. And that will clear Spider Woman because we've gone into a new round. And that gives us a nice set of cards to play with going into the next round. So I think what we'll do first is we will play our one way or another card again. Search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, and draw 3 cards. So I think you know where I'm going with this. We're going to look for another one of our captured by Hydra cards. It says, when revealed, place 1 random set-aside captive ally face down beneath this scheme, just as before. And it comes into play with 5 threat on it. Okay. So let's first grab our random captured ally. We'll place it face down beneath the captured by Hydra card and place 5 threat on captured by Hydra. So one way or another was a justice aspect. So we'll add a justice aspect cube to Spider Woman. And we'll draw 3 cards. So we'll draw up Strength. We'll draw Inconspicuous. And we will draw another Inconspicuous card. So that's nice. So I think what we'll do then is let's begin by playing Ironheart onto the table. So Ironheart says after you play her from your hand, you can draw 1 card. So we'll use that Strength card to play Ironheart onto the table. And that allows us to draw another card, which is a Skilled Investigator. I like that one. It says after a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Skilled Investigator and draw 1 card. So we'll go ahead and put it on the table for 0. It's an upgrade. And we will play, let's play Inconspicuous. We will spend 1 Finesse Wild Resource to play Inconspicuous, which says to remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play. So we'll go ahead and take the 3 threat off of the captured by Hydra card. Drop it down to 2. And then we will spend the clear the contaminant immunity to play the clear the area card, which removes another 2 threat from a scheme. And it's going to remove the last threat from that scheme, so we'll get to draw a card. So we'll remove 2 threat from captured by Hydra. Out of play, into our hand, which is Moon Knight. After you play Moon Knight from your hand, spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards. Don't have a wild resource right now, but we do have the Skilled Investigator, where we just let's finish clear the area first, so we get to draw a card for clear the area. So we have Nick Fury, which comes into our hand, and then Skilled Investigator allows us to draw another card, which is Pheromone, stun and confuse an enemy. All right. So we've got Pheromones, Moon Knight, Nick Fury. We could put Nick Fury on the table. After Nick Fury enters play, choose 1, remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy at the end of the round. If Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. So let's spend our 4 resources here to put Nick Fury on the table. Put Nick Fury out. And I'm going to draw 3 cards for doing so. So we'll draw 1, 2, 3. All right. Now we've got Maria Hill. We have Self-Propelled Guide. We have Followed. When attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So I think that Nick Fury is going to, well, let's first with Ironheart attack the Taskmaster. So she's going to do 1 damage to the Taskmaster. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt and deal equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. Then discard photographic reflexes. Max 1 per. You know what? Instead of doing that, because I do it to my identity. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt. So, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Nick Fury. I think I will go ahead and do that. I'm going to attack with Ironheart, do 1 damage onto Taskmaster, which is going to do 1 damage to Spider-Woman. And then we discard that photographic reflexes. Then we will let's see, with Nick Fury, I think we will go ahead and attack Taskmaster for 2. That takes him down to 11. With Elektra, we're going to attack for 3. 1, 2, 3 takes him down to 8. With Spider-Woman, we are going to attack for 2. So it takes him down to 6. We'll play Self-Propelled Guide. We'll spend Followed card to ready Spider-Woman. She gains the aerial until the end of the round. So we'll ready Spider-Woman. And then she'll do another attack for 2. So that'll knock Taskmaster down to 4. Okay, so we've done a little bit of damage to Taskmaster that turn. At the end of our turn, we're going to ready the Finesse card. We'll ready Skilled Investigator, Elektra, Ironheart, Nick Fury, and Spider-Woman. Okay. And then we'll draw up our 5 card hand. So we're going to keep hold of Maria Hill for now. We'll draw Jessica Drew's Apartment, For Justice, Ant-Man, and the Venom Blast. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Okay, so Taskmaster, we're going to put 1 threat on hunting down the heroes. And then it says after that we must choose. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do 1 damage to Spider-Woman instead of adding 1 threat to that main scheme over there. Taskmaster is going to attack Spider-Woman, so Nick Fury is going to jump in the way. Draw 4 damage. 2 plus 2, 4. So Nick Fury is gone. The discard pile. And we draw our encounter card, which is Taskmaster's Training Camp. It says forced response. After a minion enters play, give it a tough status card. And then we have to draw 1 additional encounter card if this one's still on the table. So that side scheme is out. It comes into play with 2 threat on it, which I'm not minding that quite so much right now. Not too bad. And we'll begin Spider-Woman's turn. So we'll clear that cube for that aspect card that she played earlier. And we've got a nice hand here to go into our next round. So I think the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to the Venom Blast. Let's see. Can we do some damage to Taskmaster? Remove him? I think we will. I think we'll knock the Taskmaster down with Ironheart. We'll do 1 damage to the Taskmaster. And that'll remove Ironheart. Do the consequential damage. Same thing with Elektra. We'll do 3 more damage to the Taskmaster. And that's going to clear Elektra from the table. But that knocks down Taskmaster all the way to 0. So stage 1 of Taskmaster is defeated. Takes us to stage 2. It says when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So we deal ourselves an encounter card for the next round. And he comes into play with 16 hit points on him. His force response reads, after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. So just as before, that Taskmaster will do damage if I have to flip to hero form. So far, so good. And I think I'm going to bring Maria Hill onto the table. We will spend Jessica Drew's apartment and our finesse card, our mental or our wild resource, to bring Maria Hill onto the table. And she is a leadership card, so we'll add 1 leadership cube to Spider-Woman. Then she allows me to draw 1 card when she enters play. So we have the self-propelled guide. All right. Maria Hill can exhaust to remove 2 threat from the Taskmaster's training camp. Nice thing about that is that not only is that card removed from the table, but we also have Skilled Investigator in play, so we exhaust that to draw another card. So we have another self-propelled guide. We can play, let's see, the Venom Blast. Let's see, self-propelled guide, Venom Blast, For Justice, and Ant-Man. I like the Venom Blast. 5 damage to an enemy. I think I'll do that. We'll spend 2 resources to do the Venom Blast. 5 damage on the Taskmaster. And of course that's an aggression card, so I can add an aggression cube to Spider-Woman. So that'll take Taskmaster down to 11. Taskmaster to 11. And then we can attack with Spider-Woman, which will bring Taskmaster, because she's +2, so that'll take her down to 1, 2, 3. I'll take Taskmaster down to 8. Then we can ready Spider-Woman by spending the self-propelled guide. she's back upright for another 3 damage onto the Taskmaster. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, takes him down to 5. And that is the end of my turn. So we'll ready our finesse card. We'll ready Skilled Investigator, Maria Hill, Spider Woman. And we'll draw 5 cards. So we draw Captain Marvel, we draw Stinger, make the call, clear the area, and strengthen numbers. All right. To begin Taskmaster's turn, we'll put 1 threat on hunting down heroes. Taskmaster is going to attack Spider Woman, and I think we'll just go ahead and take the damage in this case. So when revealed, the villain schemes, but we're looking at the boost icon, so it does 2 damage to Spider Woman, so that knocks her down to 7. And then we deal ourselves an encounter card. We already had 1 from before, so we'll reveal it first. Captured by Hydra. When revealed, place 1 random set-aside captive ally beneath this scheme. Love that. So we have 2 left. So we'll put that one down beneath and place 5 threat on Captured by Hydra. Still take a look at our hand just to make sure. Yep. And then our second encounter card is going to be an assault. So when revealed, in a hero form, the villain attacks you. So we'll go ahead and allow him to attack again. So we draw a card at 3, plus 2 is 5. That's going to knock Spider Woman all the way down to 2 health. But that will end Taskmaster's turn. So as long as I can muster up 5 damage, we should be able to beat Taskmaster this turn. And Captain Marvel uses a basic power. We can draw a card. We have Stinger in play that we could bring out. Make the call and clear the area, strengthen numbers. So we'll clear Spider Woman. We need to find 5 attacks. So we have 2 with Captain Marvel, 3 with Maria Hill, 4 with Spider Woman. So all we would need to do is find 1 more damage. Tell you what. Pay the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile. Remember who we have over there? Earlier today, we found Elektra. So I think the printed cost is 0. So Make the Call is a wonderful card to play right now. It's also a leadership aspect. So we'll bring Elektra onto the table. I almost just really want to retrieve my other ally over there, but we're so close to the end of the game, I don't want to take any chances. So Spider Woman, since we played that leadership card, Make the Call, she played a leadership aspect card, so she gets +1 attack. So Elektra, it says after Elektra enters play from your hand, well, didn't enter play from the hand, so that's not going to apply. But she does have 3 attacks, so we'll go ahead and do 3 attack onto the Taskmaster, which gets him down to 2. 1 consequential damage onto Elektra. And then Spider Woman, of course, has an attack of 2 now, so we can attack Taskmaster with Spider Woman, which will bring him all the way down to 0. So I think I did everything correctly in that game. If I didn't, please make sure to point that out in your comments down below. And I certainly want to thank everyone again for watching our playthrough video today. If you'd like to contact me, you can shoot me an email at boardgamelawyer@gmail.com. I had a lot of fun bringing you this video today. Thanks again for watching. Please be safe, and we hope to bring you another video again soon.